Here with boxing legend Andre Rozier. How's it going, Coach?
Man, oh man, it's been some stuff going on in the world of boxing. Let's talk about it.
Shit, you ain't never lie. All right, we gonna start it off, man. Controversial, to say the least. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach draw. What's your thoughts, man?
I have to watch the fight again, but I know Tank was not focused for this one, not one bit. Lamont did everything he had to do to be a viable and live dog, which he was, and the knee threw another pound of salt into the controversy. I don't know what's going to be the end result from the commission because they're making a complaint about it, but I guess we'll see what happens, what the end result will be. But I think Tank, because I'm a Tank fan, he's one of the nephews, but he's going to have to focus up and get on this game. Stop worrying about the outside world. Focus on boxing. You got to do it. It's the only way he's going to be right.
Were you surprised in how the fight went? So me going into it, I thought it would be competitive, being that the familiarity between the two.
Right.
But I thought Tank would get him late, catch him with a shot like he does everybody.
Right.
Gives up early rounds, but then walks you into a trap.
Exactly.
Did it shock you that it became a dog fight towards the later rounds?
It actually did, but I had to take into consideration the fact that they do know each other. They have boxing. I think in the amateurs they have actually fought against each other. So Lamont knows Tank, and Tank knows Lamont. But I didn't expect that outcome. I didn't expect him to be that diligent and that dogged about this fight. He was in there to make it happen. And I'm proud of Lamont. He showed a lot, and I think they should have a rematch because he deserves it.
When you spoke on Tank's lack of focus, I think it was going into the 12th. Tank didn't even know that it was the 12th round.
Exactly.
Is that what you mean, or
that's what
was
I
it
mean.
Before then?
Well, I mean, he wasn't focused through the bout. There were things he was doing that he seemed to be drifting, and I don't know. Fighters sometimes have these moments, but Tank has to realize that he is in the viewer's eye when it comes to boxing. He wants to be the face of boxing, so you are going to be treated like that. And although fighters do have their moments, this was more than that. He's going to have to dig inside and get back on track. He really needs to. He needs to focus up and be the Tank that we usually see him getting in the ring and being so dominant with.
Was the draw the right decision for this fight?
I think it was. I'm not discounting the needy. I think it was a fair assessment to say let them do it again. It was about 7-5, 7-5 either or 6-6. Take it as you wish, but I'm not upset about a draw. I'm not.
As far as the knee goes, right? You got some people that says like, no, you can take a knee in that spot. You got some people that says a punch landed first and then he took a knee, so it should have been declared a knockdown. How do you see that?
Well, that's the iffy point. It wasn't much of I think it was a jab.
Yeah, it was a jab.
And that was it. If he was going to go down, he would have went down then. You saw something going on, almost like if somebody knows they don't have their mouthpiece and they take a knee to say, I don't have my mouthpiece.
I thought it was the mouthpiece initially.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, in my eyes, I saw him taking a knee because he had a issue, but not from the punch. So I don't say it should have been ruled a knockdown. He was trying to get the attention of the referee for a moment to say that I have an issue.
How does the rematch look if it would occur next?
Well, that truly depends on what Tank comes to the table. If Tank says, you know what, I've really got to get on my job, I got to get on my game and take care of business, we might see an even more exciting fight with an even more climactic ending. But that truly depends on Tank.
Looking at this bout, if you are a Keyshawn Davis, if you are a Devin Haney, if you are Shakur Stevenson, is this the right time to take that fight, being that, you feel like Tank is unfocused, or is it the wrong time because an unfocused Tank almost took a loss? He didn't take one, he almost took a loss, so he could come back sharper and more focused than ever.
Well, of course, the other 135 pounders are going to talk about it, and as willingly they do have a right to. It wasn't his best performance, but always be careful of the sleeping dog, because when you wake him up, you might be bitten. Those guys need to realize that Tank is still Tank. So they have that moment because he has given them that moment, but be careful what you ask for.
Is changing trainers, is that a factor in sometimes performances? Like if you used to, a certain thing, you might try to add something else, or more than one voice in the corner?
It can be. Sometimes it can be confusing. The Tank has had history with Brother Barry and Brother Calvin. Those are his people. So I don't really think it was that. They know him. He knows them. Peace and love, my brother. So I don't think it really was that. I think it was honestly Tank. It was Tank. So they have some things to work on. They really do. And I know they will.
Okay. Another fight that night. Gary Antuanne Russell
Ooh.
put on a magnificent performance.
Oh my God!
From pillar to post.
Listen, in the Perro fight, this was the Russell nephew that I expected. He showed us what he's all about against Rayo. What a spectacular performance! I'm so proud of him. He was sharp as a razor blade. He was articulate. He was focused. He was on top of his game.
Everybody, I didn't want to say everybody, but a lot of people went against him. They saw what Rayo did against Isaac Cruz, and they saw the Puello performance, and they just assumed that he would outbox Gary Antuanne. What did you see technically that Gary Antuanne was doing to have so much success?
Well, this was the real Russell flavor. This is the Russell capability. The Russells can fight. And Antuanne brought it to the table. That's what we were looking for in the Perro fight, but we didn't get it. I don't know why. Fighters have their moments, but he put it together against Rayo. He was sharp. I mean, I was sitting there just enjoying the fact that he was showing people what he could actually do, why he is a true world champion.
Was the deciding factor the hand speed?
I think it was the hand speed and the power and the accuracy. I mean, honestly, they should have stopped that fight in some people say the 8th round. I say the 10th round. That should have been enough for him, because after that, it was nothing but cannon fodder. He was taking care of business. He was raking them. He was shooting those 1-2s. It was just a little over the top, but it went as it did. And nonetheless, once again, I have another nephew that is on top of the world.
You got a lot of nephews in that division.
Listen, I certainly do. I'm neutral. When they fight, I'm not even going to look at them. Not at all. I'm happy about 147 because I only got one nephew at 147. I only got one.
So does him in Africa, because Tio's fighting Barbosa,
right?
And then you got who's the other champ? Puello. So
right?
Does it make sense a Puello rematch, or just go right in there with Africa for another unification?
I think I think if he wants to redeem himself, go back and redeem himself. He doesn't have to now. He's world champion. That could have been a bad night. Sometimes you don't want to revisit a bad night. It's like a bad date. You don't want to call her again and say, "Can we try this one more time?" I had enough. So I move on. I've eclipsed that. I won a world title, and now come and see me. I'm the man. You have to belt. I have a belt. You have to talk to me.
All right, last question, Coach. You're here in Philadelphia. You've been bringing your fighter. I hope I say his name right. Avnatidil Kurtzide. Avnatidil.
There you go. That's close enough.
Kurtzide.
Kurtzide, yeah.
Who's billed as a terrifying puncher.
Right.
During his heyday.
Right.
He's in camp with Jaron Ennis. What's it like seeing Boots up close and personal every day?
It's a joy. It's a joy. I mean, I've been their family. His father's my big bro. His brothers and he are my nephews. And to see him grow and develop into the phenom that he is right now is an amazing thing. I mean, I expect him to be one of the all-time greats. And I brought Suicide, a.k.a. Avnatidil Kurtzide, to give him that good hard work. And in doing that, he's actually brought the best out in Avnatidil. He's got him more focused, and they're going at it. I mean, they're going at it. And it's going to just be like, as the kids say, iron sharpens iron. So that's what's going on now, and I love it. But he is ready. I'm going to say a prayer for Stanionis. Dear Father, who art in heaven, please bless this young man as he ventures into the ring with my nephew, Gervonta Ennis, and I pray that he's not hurting about.
Now, you were talking about a refocused Tank. Boots is coming off of a performance where people were very, very critical. He was critical of himself.
Right.
Is this what you're talking about, where a guy, almost, I didn't even want to say he was close to losing, but
nowhere near.
Yeah, but underwhelmed himself and people, and now, mindset is like, yo, I'm gonna put belt to ass next time.
Exactly. That was his moment. I mean, I thought it was totally unnecessary that he should have to. Once again, he rematched a guy he already beat.
12 rounds to nothing.
And just a guy that didn't even want to commit. A guy that was awkward, running all over the place, this, that, and the other thing. And then you had to do it again. It just made no sense. So now, he has someone who's a world champion. They're unifying. Stanionis is known as a tough and rough, rugged, come-to-you type fighter. Boots is on point. He's sharp. He's articulate. He is moving and controlling the entire ring. It's going to be a bad night for Stanionis. Bad night.
Everybody says they want to see him in there with a live dog, a top guy. Is this the beginning of that
Yes.
to justify what everybody that knows him, you, me,
Yes.
everybody that says like, yo, he's next?
This is the precipice of his greatness. This is the beginning of his ascension. He's going to win this fight, and then he will try to become undisputed. I don't even know if he'll be able to get the chance that those guys won't want to fight him. But this fight will start the foundation. They are laying the concrete and the steel, and his foundation is being built with this fight for Boots to be an all-time great.